And we have some news just coming in at this point in time. Another assassination attempt on Trump is what it looks like. The shooting near Trump's golf club in Florida, firing while Trump was golfing in this particular club. Former President Donald Trump is safe. The shooter has been nabbed. Shooter was about 400 to 500 yards away from Trump is what we've been given to understand. That's the information coming in at this hour.
We have stopped the vehicle that the FBI, the Secret Service, and the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office asked all law enforcement to look for. We had the vehicle description and we had a tag number. We mobilized out on the interstate. Two of my marked units picked up the vehicle. We followed it for a bit. We were able to contain it using some of our bigger vehicles that we use for specialized stops. We got the vehicle stopped. Since then, the FBI and the Secret Service have responded to the scene. It does appear that we certainly have the vehicle involved in the incident at Mar-a-Lago, and we have the suspect that they were.
I'm going to go straight across to Rohit Sharma for more details on that story. Joining us this morning from Washington, D.C. in the U.S. Rohit, give us a sense of what has happened there. This is extremely disturbing because this is the second time around that Donald Trump's life is being seen at risk. Just describe to us the sequence of events there.
Thanks for having me. Good morning. So first things first, this is the second assassination attempt on Donald Trump. He was today at his own golf course in West Palm Beach in Florida. He was actually golfing out with one of the donors. And there were shots heard on the golf course between hole number 5 and 6. Turns out that there was a suspect which was 400 yards away with an AK-47 style gun. The Secret Service shot at him. This person, who's now been identified as Ryan Roque, he's in his late 50s, and he basically ran for his car. He ran away from the spot. They chased him down 50 miles away in the Martin County and apprehended this person. They made him pull over and then detained this guy. Looks like he's had some encounters previously with law enforcement, and Secret Service is calling it the second assassination attempt on Donald Trump. They're investigating it as of now. We also know for a fact that there were 2 backpacks and a GoPro camera that were recovered from the spot in the bushes at the golf club. So very, very disturbing news. We've seen statements from Vice President Kamala Harris. She said, she's happy, she's glad that Trump is safe. We've seen a long statement from President President Joe Biden, who's calling it a second assassination attempt. He told everybody that he's been briefed on the matter, and he's obviously happy that nothing has happened. Donald Trump, on the other hand, we are being told, is in high spirits. He tweeted, he posted something on Truth Social. He's trying to raise money off of this, and he mentioned to some of his family members that he was sad that he could not complete his round of golf. So, all in all, very surprising, very shocking. We know also for a fact that the National Security Council had briefed the campaign on a possible assassination from the Iranians. And I think as recently as past week, there were a second round, where the Secret Service was briefed about these possible assassination attempts on Donald Trump. So this is massive. This, getting one assassination attempt at a presidential candidate. I mean, this is the second one. So somebody has to have some answers. The good thing is that Trump was safe. No bullets were fired in his direction, and he was secure. And then obviously he's safe right now. So that's the good news. The shocking aspect is, how in the world is this happening in America? And I think a lot of people owe answers to Americans.
Be with us. I'm just going to come back to you in a moment from now. Rohit, undoubtedly it's a huge security concern given that this is the second time in a span of just a few weeks that this is happening. U.S. National Security Analyst Irina Zuckerman is also now joining us from Washington, D.C. this morning. Thank you for your time. Please give us an idea about how worrying the situation is right now, given that this is the second time such a thing has happened. How can there be such a huge security lapse here?
Well, this is ironic because after the first assassination attempt, the head of the Secret Service resigned, and there were expected to be changes. Even more interesting is that the second suspect referenced the first assassination attempt in his social media comments and essentially encouraging President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris to attend the funerals and related to the first assassin who was killed in his attempt during the rally. So we are seeing that there are red flags being ignored and very common security measures not being placed. The fact that he was able to get in so close to a presidential candidate after the previous security lapse indicates that the systematic issues with the Secret Service have not been fully corrected yet.
Also, I want to ask you, how is the FBI looking at this? What kind of answers are they providing in terms of this kind of lapse? What about the authorities? What about the administration on how this happened the second time around?
Well, the FBI is treating it as an assassination attempt. Of course, they quickly took action and took this whole situation very seriously. What's interesting is that when this individual was first noticed, he was the Secret Service agent fired at him but missed, and he was able to get away until he was apprehended. So that's another question. The administration obviously should have concerns about their own safety, especially since this is not the first security lapse on their watch. A while ago, we had a situation where an RGC and a Pakistani ISI, two people from those two intelligence agencies, infiltrated and bribed Secret Service members close to the security of the president, vice president, and the first lady. Those two individuals were arrested but were deported. They were allowed to basically flee the country. So given the systematic problems with the Secret Service, I think it would be in everyone's best interest to put aside partisan differences and focus on creating a more secure environment for people running for office.
All right, be with us. I'm just going to come back to you in a moment from now. In fact, we have more news coming in at this point in time. The former president has now issued a statement after the golf club shooting. He said, "I'm safe and well." I'm going to go straight across to Rohit also for more details. Rohit, in fact, he said he is not going to surrender. "Nothing can slow me down," says Donald Trump.
Yeah, look, this is Trump being Trump, the strongman that he is. We've seen him doubling down after the first assassination attempt. I mean, he's also sent an email, asking to raise funds of this. And look, I mean, it is just amazing. It amazes me that after two attempts, he's still in high spirits. He's not panicking. He thanked the Secret Service. So this is, but as Irina was talking, I think a lot of questions need to be answered. Why is this happening? Why 50 days before election another attempt? And we're seeing statements coming from everybody, all the politicians from both sides. We've had a congressional inquiry into the first attempt in itself. We had a Secret Service person resign, and we've got the acting person right now, acting secretary, I should say, right now. So a lot of questions needs to be answered. I mean, it doesn't make sense that somebody could get an AK-47 rifle and beam 300 to 500 yards, away from Trump, especially after what we saw in July. So it's I think something needs to be said about the lapse. Some people have to obviously own up to what's going on. And this again, remember, after the NSC briefed Secret Service that there could be more assassination attempt, or the Iranians are plotting assassination attempts on Trump. So somebody's got to give answer as to why and how could this person get so close to Trump again.
Right. I'm going to thank you, Rohit Sharma, getting us those details this morning about this assassination attempt on Donald Trump. This is, in fact, the second attempt. Irina also continues to be with us. Irina, also, given that this is the second attempt in the last few weeks or so, just give us an idea about how one would expect the security to then beef up even further.
Well, first of all, hopefully they will have agents who are specifically prepared for these scenarios. I have no doubt that not only Trump, but others are considering also getting private security in addition to Secret Service comment. It doesn't seem that numbers alone suffice if there are such efforts, such lapses in basic protocol. It's not clear why the combination of security has not proven to be enough in advance of these efforts, and with the persistent threats that I'm sure are coming in terms of verbal threats and threats that candidates receive on a daily basis. So that to me seems to be quite shocking. I think they need to be looking for people specifically prepared for dealing with such scenarios and who have a record of success in diffusing threats before they become threats.
That's right. In fact, if Rohit continues to be with us, I'd like to go back to Rohit for a moment. Getting in details of this incident that has been reported. Also, Irina, if you could also, give us an idea about who could, or rather, who is suspected really behind this, as far as the investigations in this case concerned.
So far, there hasn't been any rumors of a vast conspiracy of any sort. We are seeing individuals who appear to be self-radicalized in a heated political climate, who probably have had issues already. But it's worth noting that certain actions and certain statements by this individual could be indicative of an agent provocateur. For instance, he kept referencing Ukraine and his willingness to go and die fighting Putin, but has not, in fact, actually done anything of that sort. And there's no clear record of him assisting Ukraine in any way. He claims that he previously voted for Trump and then switched his vote to Biden. That seems to be an indication of a possible effort to throw confusion and chaos in an already tense scenario during a very close election. And we've seen rhetoric towards that sort of chaos and mayhem and efforts to meddle in the election from several parties manifest them previously. For instance, Iran has attempted to hack both candidates and their campaigns and other politicians as well during the campaign. That's just one of the examples of foreign meddling in an effort to attack all the relevant parties and to cause finger pointing and blame games and this sort of political chaos. So we should be very aware of how third parties outside the country are viewing the situation, and the fact that there was a previous security lapse makes it easier and more likely that assorted parties, whether individuals or state actors or non-state actors, will try to capitalize on security failures in the future and make more attempts to disrupt the elections through assassination efforts, hacks, other types of security incidents.
Absolutely. I'm going to thank you, Irina, for getting in those details and sharing with us your perspective on that story. Remember, we're reporting on the second attempt on former President Donald Trump, the second assassination attempt, essentially, that has taken place over the last few weeks or so. This is a worrying situation with the FBI now looking into this case as well.